A to the triple dog. Yo.
Welcome to the Call to Defend live stream, where we intend to match racism with Islamophobia. I'm Caleb Elliott, and this is Josh Davis.
I wasn't ready for
I
that.
told you I had an intro already.
I wasn't ready for that.
I'm gonna freaking lose it, dude. I'm gonna
Over
lose
your
it.
picture-in-picture.
Yes. Yes. See, because now it's like starting to mess with other features.
Oh. Well, that's
Yeah.
not fun. At all.
No.
Ugh. So my mom got a disease and she's passing it off to me. I'm trying to fight it. I've been successful in every way but the throat,
I can't
which
look
is a
at the
problem.
chat because of this.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm just saying I can't look at the chat because of this.
Oh, you're good. There's nothing in the chat right now.
No, I know, but if we get anything...
We'll be fine. So, today we have something a little bit different. I guess not quite different than last Tuesday. Where's my dog? I've watched three.
I got
now.
it. Aha.
Oh, so you all met Blossom and Bentley before. Get over
Do
it.
we have a name?
It's tied down to Harvey or Winston. Look at this little guy. And so because one,
What a cute little incest baby.
I know. And I have to be on dog duty until someone gets home. So here we are. Anyways. So today, my food of choice is just basically a turkey sandwich. Pretty good one.
Mine's a little better.
What's yours?
So I was given a gift card recently. And well, hang on, before I proceed, can you guess from my name what mine is?
Is it a bacon, a son of a, is it a bacon cheeseburger from Wendy's? A Baconator?
Yes. Yes, it is a Baconator.
And you're telling me you didn't invite me?
No, because it's not that big of a gift card, my guy.
I didn't say to buy it. Pay for mine, saying you just didn't invite me.
Oh. I could have. I didn't
Okay.
think you'd want Wendy's, but okay. I don't know.
You don't know unless you ask.
So I went and picked it up like an hour ago. Because with Wendy's, it's a crapshoot. It's going to be 5 minutes or 3 years in that drive-through. You don't know. This time it was 5 minutes, so.
I've only ever had
Very
3-minute
foreign
experiences.
burger. Huh?
I've only had 3-minute experiences.
Oh, really? I've had times where I legitimately waited a half hour in that drive-through.
Never had that.
That's why, and it's also quite expensive generally to go to Wendy's, so that's why I didn't. That's why I only went there with a gift card. I have not been to Wendy's in years, probably. Right? No, I went to Wendy's with a coworker a little under a year ago. So, from whatever it's been from that time on, I have not been to Wendy's. Point is, it's been a hot second.
I just watched a child trying to drink milk from his mom, and she just got up and walked away.
I see she's not grown more attached then.
No, she's been getting more and more distant. I think she's trying to get him to wean off a bit. Because he's about 5 weeks old, so he's supposed to be like weaning off by now. And she's getting tired of being the meal source. Hi, little guy. You have teeth. Stop. No barking. Morons. Anyways. So today we're This came out yesterday, technically in its short form, but it was a long form over stream. I don't know how many days ago. So I think they took it down to protect his actual voice. They had IP, NK Inspiring Philosophy, had a call-in show, of which I tried convincing Caleb would be a good idea. And they had someone come on who was a former Dawah script teacher and writer. So he was actually like in the scenes a lot, putting stuff together for the Dawah guys, training them, giving them everything they need for it. And he apparently left Islam. And so he called in to share his experience. Why aren't you charging? Oh, of course, because my dog unplugged the computer. I'm gonna fight these dogs.
So,
You stall.
yeah. Josh has seen this video. I have not. I saw it come out. I said, oh, I should watch that. And then promptly forgot. So, after Josh brought it up to me, I intentionally did not watch it so I could give a live reaction here.
Yeah. So, this is interesting. We're not going to watch all of it. If audio is hard to hear, no more than normal, thankfully they provide subtitles for him because they alter his voice.
Makes sense.
So I think they took down the stream and altered his voice just to protect him. So we will listen to what they provide. They provide subtitles for him built into the video, like not even like you have to click closed captions, it's just built in. So if you need to follow along with that, you will. And we're gonna just kind of see what he has to say. I have listened to this, so I already like know what's coming up. So there's gonna be some spots we're probably just gonna skip over. Just because it might not be as necessary as some of the rest of it will be. The fun fact is that this guy is also a poet. He wrote 2 poems. One that took place right after he left Islam. It's a rage poem. It does have profanity, so if that is of offense, I would cover your ears if we get to that point. If we don't get to that point, then we won't get there. Kind of depends on where the conversation goes. The first one is a little bit more chill. It was him, I think, explaining what happened. But we'll see what happens because we might not get to the rage poem. The interesting thing about it, though, is him explaining. It's his reaction to when he immediately left Islam. Like, what was the final straw? And so that would be the reason to listen to it, just to kind of see the experiences that led there. But also, you know, he kind of talks about it around then, so we'll see what happens. So I'll pull up my screen. Here we go.
Now, did he convert to Christianity or just leave Islam and become an atheist?
He's been going to church.
Okay.
So I think he said he's nominally a Christian. So
Okay.
on the road there, that does not sound like it's anything official yet.
Yeah.
All right, make sure you guys can see everything and my audio's good. Should be good.
I can.
Good. That's the
Heyman,
important
Mike, and dumb employee.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, after the whole thing where, who was it? Libiano, Orthodox Muslim,
Yeah.
made a whole video about how he's a dumb gay employee and took all these things out of context, like a photo of him with his wife, cropped out his wife, and said, look at these man hands on this guy's butt. Isn't he so gay? And it's like literally his wife's hands. It was like, brother, can you at least try? So then they turned it to, every time someone comes in and tries to use that against him, Mike goes, why are you here trying to flirt with Than? He's married. He's not going to come for you.
Beautiful.
Anyways,
Khalid, can you hear me?
It's Khalid, man. It's Khalid.
Khalid, sorry
Khalid?
about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. Until recently.
I got something for you because of that. That's great to hear. That made my day. I'm happy you left Islam.
Yeah. So I just kind of need help clearing up. Like, I have 27 pages of Islam in the Bible.
Okay.
Because I used to actually write apologetics materials.
What was for who? Like, was it for a blog or something?
No, it was actually for training for Dawah teams.
So wait, you used to help train Dawah teams?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like anyone in specifically, or you cannot? Can you mention them or no?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm acquainted with the Dawah Bros. Like, I've met a couple of them.
Dawah, you were.
so I think that's interesting. So this is not just like he's written Dawah scripts. So a lot of the Dawah bros, like a lot of your major names, you can wait, boy. A lot of these major names are the ones that he's helped train. Whether he directly trained them, it sounds like, or he wrote out the training for them to be trained, or both and even. So the very fact that he's even hiding from them, these ones who kind of put on this posture of like, we're not going to be a problem, and he has to hide his name from also who he's taught from them, shows there's a lot more going on within Dawah. I think Libiano's kind of made it very obvious with the way he acts around people. But considering the other ones who are more considered the Dawah bros, I don't even know if Libiano's really considered a Dawah bro anymore because of how ridiculous he's been. Just quick 2 cents. I don't know if it totally mattered, but I just thought that was an interesting point to bring up. I'm going to let this video play. Caleb, you can unfortunately just going to have to wait till I bring my dogs back in.
You're studying this stuff, and you left Islam.
Yeah.
Can I ask you what? I know it's never just one thing, right? Yeah. Can you give like a brief story?
Actually, I also write poetry, so I actually have a poem about this.
A poem?
Yeah, dude, you mind if I read the poem?
Please.
Please, dude. I want to hear the poem about this. This sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'm ready to listen, man.
I have one that's like the full story and one that's like the reason. They're both just one page.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Up to you, man.
I'm
Whatever
very
you wanna
curious
do.
about this story. I want to hear it.
All right, this one's called "Disease of the Heart," and it's kind of about the reason that I ended up getting shunned by my mosque community. So here it goes. There's a terrible disease. It's the disease of the heart. With hardship comes ease. Listen to my poetic art. Can't get it on loan or lease. Expand your breast. Prevent its start. I never knew my privilege till I lost it. Never was a visible minority till I went to Juma. Ran Rabbis in the Ummah, not knowing I'd get it. White converts lose advantage in masjid and dunya. Maybe some of the treatment is revenge, something for our collective guilt unpaid. Our own people call us traitors, turn us like a hinge, and no ansar for our Rahman's new slaves. Ummah's attitude is social Darwinism, put on a white convert in an alienation situation, expecting better than Sahaba out of them, the refugees from Jahiliyyah, but you gatekeep like immigration. Why don't you help your brother when he loses it all? Blame us for the cold while you're acting like ice. Pasty bro in the front row ain't cause your fall. Gatekeeping the Ummah, keeping out the whites. So basically, race.
Okay. I have to say, so people don't know this about me. I'm a bit of a poetry nerd. Like I have the entire collection of Edgar Allan Poe, for example, and he is my favorite poet, and it's not close. I have to say, not to be rude, Khalid, not the best poetry I've ever heard. But it's interesting there that was the breaking point for him, right? Like that's the reason he said he was shunned by his mosque. and he's saying like, that's the reason that I left. Like the reason I left Islam is this racism. Like that's not really an angle I've thought about, perhaps. But honestly, it's an under talked about one in terms of Islam, right? That Muhammad himself was very light skinned for an Arab. Right? Like I think it's in the Hadith where it says that his torso is like milk. So he's a white dude. Muhammad is a white dude, basically. Very fair skinned. And so it's he often looks down on those who are darker skinned, right? He traded in black slaves, right, which is a favorite Islamic pastime for those who don't know. And he he had a particular ire for black people outside of Al-Zut, right? Because he was a big fan of Al-Zut. But speaking of Al-Zut, but
Brother, of all the things to just jump out of the gate with that one, really?
yeah.
Guys, can you stop fighting the child who's smaller than both of you?
I mean, Momo married one who's smaller than him, so.
All right. My dogs are better than Momo.
Yeah, I mean, Muhammad really hated dogs. That's another thing. That's a story for another time. But like, dude really hated dogs.
Well, you already went over that in your Hadith video.
I did. But no, he, as I mentioned, traded in black slaves. He had a black slave himself who actually did like the first call to prayer. And the reason that the black slave did it was because he had the loudest voice. Right? Like, so Muslims will try to say, see, Muhammad wasn't racist. He let his black slave, I'm just going to pause right there. He let his who? He let his who?
Well, hold on. I forgot. Did he already mention this video what race he is? Or what ethnicity?
No.
So he's white.
Okay, interesting.
So he's white, which means he's not even Arab. Everything he's doing right now is to mask his identity to keep it from being known. But he's actually a white person who converted to Islam and then rose the ranks of becoming a Dawah. He's going to go into this later. It's really interesting. But like the whole idea, like the racism is that if you're not of like the Arab type, you're pretty much out.
Right.
If you're black, you're beneath them. If you're white, you have a certain standard you have to follow, or else you're beneath them. You're being like all these things. So he's not even like just like a black guy, like typical racism. Like this is a white person who went to go be part of an Islam community, a Muslim community, of which people say white people can't be racist towards white people. And he's like, in Islam you can be. If you're not Arab, you're screwed. But yeah, and then he's going to go into later about his first experience being part of it and what it was like, but then everything afterwards. But yes, to your point, like Momo, Momo had a ton. And even you made this in a couple streams ago. Had a massive amount of slaves, regular slaves, sex slaves. It whatever he could get his hands on, basically. Probably had a few different kind of concubines mixed in there from those slaves.
Like also.
Probably why he collected black people, because he wanted more Al-Zut time.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
He certainly got his hands on the Al-Zut, so. No, but also he makes the point that Satan appears as a black man. Right? Like he straight up just is like, yes, black people are the devil.
Yep.
So I know a lot of people say, the leftists supporting the Muslims is like chickens for KFC. And it's like, well, hang on. Both have a very low view of black people. Right? Like
Yeah.
the left thinks that, black people need handouts to be on equal footing with whites, when really if you give them equal opportunity, there's no reason they can't have the same success.
Right.
And then and then also, so, Muhammad said black people are basically the devil, right? Because he said Satan appears as a black man. Okay, so black men share an appearance with the devil. Great, awesome. And I thought about this recently, actually. The Pride Progress flag, right, which is just an atrocious looking flag by all senses, has obviously the gay colors, it has the trans colors, and then it has black for black people. So you've effectively just called all black people gay.
Well, here's the thing too. That entire flag is a contradiction because transgenderism pushed for the idea that gender's fluid, but gay and lesbian bisexual depends on gender not being fluid, which
Exactly.
means you're now calling black people a contradiction. You've looped them into the contradiction.
What we have taken away today is that according to Islam and the left, black people are gay, contradictory, and the devil.
But then in Christianity, all human beings are in the image of God.
There is
Checkpoint.
neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, male nor female, but all are one in Christ Jesus. I don't care what you look like, you're made in the image of God.
Yeah. Oh, do you have any other thoughts before I let this video play out some more?
Nope.
Look at that. We made past the first 3 minutes.
You are aware you're not actually playing the video right now, right?
Oops.
Also, fall gatekeeping the Ummah, keeping out the whites. So basically, racism, full stop.
So you were a white convert into Islam.
yeah. And the racism basically got me pushed out of my community.
Mhm.
Because my clique broke up. The people that I hung out with broke up because everyone was just, having their own lives, doing their own thing. The result of that was that once those guys left the community, like they went, they moved to other places and they were following their careers and stuff. And I stayed put because like I didn't have a reason to go anywhere. Like, and people just stopped returning my salam. People would, like, if I said hello to them, they would turn around and walk away. Like, and I ended up, like, like, I know some people from Ahmed, and I even asked them to look into it for me because nobody would give me or anyone that I asked for help that was willing to help, nobody would give them any answers. So I actually asked some descendants of the Prophet to actually like go and investigate because like who can tell them no, right? And they came back with, you have a good reputation, but you're not from their country.
Oh man.
So I was just like, what, excuse me?
So what do you believe now? Like, are you agnostic? Where are you at?
I'm nominally Christian at this moment. Like,
Okay.
Okay.
That's even better to hear.
yeah, I'm going to a church, yeah.
Okay.
But like, so like, what ended up happening was, I got pushed out of the community, and then I kept trying to go to Juma anyway, and just ignore the people glaring at me, people ignoring that I was
Gosh,
existing, people that were like, "Is that the wind?" You know what I mean? Like, bullying.
Did you say pause it?
No, I just said you were getting impatient.
Well, no, I just we just have a lot of. It's just a 17-minute video. I want to get as much as we can without it looking like we're just staring at the screen.
Yeah. No, I get that. So I do. While it's paused, I do have like a little bit of a thought here, which is it's funny to me that Islam. This kind of follows the pattern of Islam, right? Where you get initially, it's open and welcoming, and anyone can be a part of it. Right? You're kind of seeing this in the West, right? And like with Western efforts, and with the lawyer that IP debated, it was Hashan Shebly, I think was his name.
Shibli.
Right, Shibli, whatever, man. In which he says, well, Islam is just one who submits to God. So really, so many people are Muslims, right? And it's this air of trying to be open and welcoming, so that way they can get you into Islam. And then once they do, then the harder stuff to swallow starts to come out, right? Like this stuff, and then he's the guy saying, oh, my clique was really what was keeping me in it, right? Because they're the ones that welcome you into the fold. But now that they're gone, they don't have to pretend to like you anymore, right? From their perspective, you're writing Dawah scripts. You are already in this, right? Like you are already, you are already full-fledged in Islam. They don't have to pretend to be nice to you anymore.
Yeah.
They can, right? And that is the Islamic practice: is get the person in, do whatever you have to do to get them in, right? Fiqh is lying for the faith, right? If you have to lie to get them into Islam, do it. Great. Practice fiqh. Once they're in, the mindset is they're in, right? Like they've been so thoroughly brainwashed, they're not going to go anywhere. So now we can hand them the stuff that's like, oh yeah, by the way, our prophet is a pedophile. Oh, by the way, we are racist here. Oh, by the way, you have to follow XYZ rule that we didn't tell you about. And so now that you've converted and you've already accepted this, you can't leave or else we'll kill you.
Right, and he goes on later. I think the word he uses is that it was like a euphoria for the first few months. And then after that, he's constantly in anxiety about what's going to happen to him, especially now that his clique is gone, because there's no one there who is either who actually likes him or is pretending to like him. And
Right.
as you pointed out, it was even just the mere fact, didn't matter that he was a Muslim, the mere fact that he wasn't from the same country as them
Oh, for sure. Right.
made him lesser, even though they're all Muslims.
Beautiful. Yeah, one of the most beautiful hoisting of a petard that I've ever seen in my life was the Minnesota mayoral election, Minneapolis mayoral election. Right. So Jacob Fry won it over a Somali Muslim. Now, keep in mind, make sure you put the video back up this time.
No.
Keep in mind, the population of Minneapolis is now more percentage Somali than it was, say, 10 to 15 years ago. We'll put it that way, right, to try and be kind. But it's a pretty large portion of the Minneapolis population that is Somalian. And you might be wondering, well, hang on, then how come the Somali guy didn't win? Right? He had the backing of a lot of white people. Surely he had the backing of the Somalian community, so how didn't he win? He actually didn't have the backing of the Somalian community because he wasn't from the right tribe. Tribal warfare in Africa determined an election here in the United States. Right. Islam likes to put on this show of, I'm going to slip into Ali Dawah here. See, the Christians, they are divided. They are divided. All these different denominations, right? Because this is a talking point that he actually uses. So he's, all these different denominations, Islam is one. Islam is united. And it's like, are you sure about that? Right? I mean, not only is there this racial aspect that gets, at least ought to be ignored in Christianity, right? Paul is very clear about that. Peter's very clear about that. And above all, Christ himself is very clear about that, right? Go into the world and preach to all the nations. First in Jerusalem, then in Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth, right? And that idea of Samaritans was overcome that racial divide that you have. Your culture is not the most important thing here. The most important thing is the gospel, right? Which is what Christ taught. Right? Go and preach the gospel. As Josh disappears into the void. So,
Dogs, for some reason, have to go outside again, even though they just went out.
they're dogs, man. See, this is why Muhammad didn't like dogs. I'm kidding. He didn't like dogs for whatever reason. Who even knows? Might have just been general psychopathy. That's not suffering from a break in reality. Sociopathy. Any hoozle. I forgot where I was going. Oh, right. This picture of united Islam is a total fabrication. Right? Christianity, Jesus teaches, overcome your racial prejudices, overcome your racial divides, and promote the gospel, right? Preach the gospel, live in accordance with my teachings. Islam says that, yes, the message of Islam is the highest thing, but within that, you still get racial division, right? You still get Satan appears as a black man. The word of Allah, right? The Quran takes on the form of a pale man, right? A white man. Right? You still get that racial division aspect. Right? Take, for example, and I know Muslims are going to decry it as not actually part of Islam. Okay, fair enough. Right? But the Fruits of Islam, the Nation of Islam or the Fruits of Islam rather, which was a movement in America, right? Malcolm X forms a lot of his thoughts and ideology from the Fruits of Islam. And Malcolm X is one of the singularly most racist human beings to ever exist. But seriously, if you have not read his autobiography, go and read it. It's not a long read. I think it's like maybe 200 pages, maybe.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I have it. I was going to say, I have it and I have read it. He's one of the most singularly awful, racist human beings of all time.
Why do you have it?
I read it for school.
Like college?
I just... Nope.
Or high school?
High school.
Oh, I didn't have to read it in high school.
Yeah. Well, it was one of the list of options. So
Gotcha.
I chose it from a list, and I regret that life decision.
And you still have it?
I do because I bought it for the project.
You probably could return it to like Barnes & Noble or something, get like $5 for it. There's another bacon cheeseburger for you.
That is not $5. What planet are you going, or do you live on?
The biggie bags.
$5.
The biggie bags.
I've never done that before. Again, I don't go to Wendy's. I don't go to Wendy's, dude.
I don't either, but I know about the biggie
I am
bags.
strictly a McDonald's loyalist.
Ugh. Ugh.
Okay, you say that, but $4 can get me a full meal. That's my kind of thing. Also, I don't get fast food that often, but when I do, I like
I don't
to
either.
be cheap.
I don't really go
And
like at all
McDonald's
unless I
is
have to.
cheapest. Yeah. Well, again, the only reason I went now is I have the gift card. Otherwise, I was
that's fair.
planning on. I don't know. Actually, I didn't have a plan.
Well, actually, I remember when you went on texting me about the $1 for downloading the app thing.
No. If you downloaded the app, right? So I downloaded the McDonald's app specifically because if you did a mobile order through the app on National Cheeseburger Day, you got a 50-cent cheeseburger.
That's what it
That
was.
is a good deal. That is a good deal.
That is a pretty good deal.
And not just like any cheeseburger, like their double, whatever the double one is.
Whatever it is, yeah.
I don't know if it was like the whatever. Doesn't matter.
Something is forbidden on for Ramadan.
Yeah. Well, except for, right now because it's nighttime out. So,
Oh, you're so right.
they are just packing it in right now. I guess depending on what part of the world you're in. I said what I said.
Al-Zut
They are
style,
packing
or
it in like Al-Zut. I was just going there. They are packing it in like Muhammad packed in Al-Zut. But yeah, no, so you get you still get this racial aspect in Islam, right? It's very much a racially tense religion, which I don't think we should find surprising,
no?
given that it's based around this cultural Arab identity, right? Muhammad saying that the Yemenis are the best of people, which I sure if that's who you want to go with. And this identitarianism between Muslims and Jews, right? The famous persecution of the Jewish people by Islam. Judaism is, or Jewish is unique in that it is both a religion in Judaism and an ethnicity, right? The Jewish ethnicity. I am of Jewish ethnicity.
High school friends did not get that at all.
They did not get that one bit. There were people who were so confused. But in terms of religion, I am about as Jewish as a ham sandwich. Right? I literally just ate a bacon cheeseburger. I did all of the wrong things there. I do not practice. I'm not like a Messianic Christian. Nope. I am just a Messianic Jew. I am a Messianic Christian, obviously. Christ is the Messiah. But I am not a Messianic Jew. I practice no kosher laws because I have the Holy Spirit inside me to make me kosher. But that's an argument for last month. We are in February now. And but you get this divide, right? This identitarian divide between Islam and Judaism and Christianity and the pagans, and it's not race based, but it is also race based, right? Because again, you were coming after the Jews there, right? So there is somewhat of a racial aspect to it, and again, you get the Muhammad had black slaves. Satan is a black man. The Quran is a white man. Right? Like, inherently, you are going to have some racial prejudices. So I do not think we should be surprised that this guy is looked... Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Is looked at as lesser because... Josh is gone. Josh is back. Because he is... Heads up. Josh recording will continue on a new track. Nice. Thanks, Riverside, for that notification. But yeah, no, so I think we shouldn't be surprised that this guy is looked down upon simply for his race, because that's intrinsic to Islam. Oh, and I didn't actually bring about the point. The fruits of Islam, it's still based on Islamic teaching, right? It just mixes in racial identitarianism, which was so easy for it to do. So I don't think we should be surprised to see the racism. Josh has left me, and I don't think he realizes he took the video with him. There's no way he realizes that he took the video with him, so now we have nothing to watch. Okay, he is back.
Apparently, the charging case for the other microphone I was using was low on battery, and I didn't know it. So my other microphone just died, and so I had to switch microphones. And Riverside doesn't let you switch microphones while you're recording.
Gotcha.
So I had to make a quick switch. Hopefully you can hear me fine, though.
Yeah, I can. Also, you took the video with you, so it's not like I could even...
Well, I mean, you can just... you can just get over it and deal with it. It's not hard to find.
We're ready for the... I say we're ready for the video.
No.
Okay, I guess we're not. Well, what are your thoughts then?
My thoughts are I'm getting the video up.
Basically, I just tried to ignore it and kept on the Juma, and then there was a sermon, a khutbah about those who are shunned by the community are the lowest of the low and destined for hellfire. I was like,
What?
Wait, Jerry, that's
That's a thing.
that guy. We're gonna shut him. He goes to hell because they just voted on this.
The thing is like it's not even like a voted on thing. It's just a thing that they do to white converts, like standard.
Opposite what you see in the Gospels.
You can go to the wrong skin color church and they won't turn you away. They'll just be like, I think you like this other church better.
Have you
Yeah.
ever gone to a black church? They are awesome. They're like, come on in,
Yeah.
this is great. Come on, like it's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
You know, so basically, I looked this up. This has been a phenomenon since 1960. Thing where a white person is,
I was not ready for Black Mike Jones.
and then all of a sudden everyone just shuns them out of the blue.
I mean, I've visited a black church, and he's right. They're pretty up there and pretty welcoming.
I know. I wish we didn't have to label it, right? Because culturally, you have to say black church so people know what you're talking about. Right? But I wish we didn't just label it, oh, yeah, that's a black church. It's like, well, no. Just like Mike Jones said, right? If I walked into a predominantly black church, they'd be like, welcome in. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Hope you are ready to get in a workout this Sunday morning.
I will
Because you're
say,
going to be up and down and dancing.
I've talked to a few of them, and they're actually pretty okay with it because it's almost like it helps them help you understand the type of worship service you're walking into. It's kind of like if you said you're going to a Presbyterian church, your expectation is probably going to be hymnal and stuff. And so there's
Right.
actually so I understand what you're saying. I'm saying there's a large number of them who are actually at least from what I've talked to, who actually prefer it that way because it's not like it's a nominational, but it like gives you the expectation and it kind of lays it out there for you.
Right, yeah. No, again, that's what I'm saying, right? Culturally, I understand why we do it. I just wish we had a better term for it, right? Because
Sure.
the whole point of Christianity is you are made in the image of God. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you look like. You are still made in God's image.
Right.
Right. And so I wish we as a culture could come up with a better term for that. It's not like, you know, I'm trying to say, oh, it's racist to call it a black church.
No,
They
yeah.
call it a black church.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's not the point. The point is, you know, the race should not define the church.
Right.
Right. The church, capital C, goes far beyond race. Right. So
Right.
the church, lowercase c, shouldn't define itself by race. That's
Sure.
all I'm saying.
It's like they don't know the mechanism behind it other than, you know, just like baseline racism. But so my thinking on it is they're excited because, like, at first they're excited because a white person has joined their religion and is vindicating.
Mhm.
And then what seems to happen is if you surpass the level of knowledge of like the general population of your community, they start to feel insecure.
Now I know why the Muslim cowboy is so stupid. This makes total sense now. Okay.
I mean, think about it like this: white, predominantly white countries have colonized much of the Middle East and South Asia, where most Muslims are from. They have an inferiority complex about that. By the way, like the people who have just come over from there have this like inferiority complex about it, which I have had to be very, very careful not to bump into.
That's interesting.
So what it is they
That honestly, I wouldn't even have thought about that. Right? Like I wouldn't have thought about. I mean, I guess, you know, America's never been conquered, so I don't really have to worry about that. Right? I have no real concept of what that means to actually be conquered, but that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of the aspect of, oh, he's from the colonizer place.
Yeah. Oh.
That's okay. I can keep ranting.
Well, I'll just say this while my dog is yelling at the cat. It's interesting how they're happy, as he said, until you get to a certain level of knowledge. Then they feel inferior. Which on one hand is kind of like, what is that threshold?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Because if if you know more than general population, then how is it you're getting that knowledge and the general population isn't? Because either someone's feeding into you or they're that uncommitted to learning. Or some other...
And then
I don't want to say that's...
I
those
would
are the only
guess,
two options.
honestly, I would guess it's the latter.
And I'm not saying those are the only two options. I don't want to build a false dilemma here, but the idea that there's these different layers. Where's that threshold where the general population, like for some reason, like we kind of do it here for some people too in Christianity, like, but not in the same way. We don't do it in the inferiority and the racist essence, but there's that like, oh, you've gone into too much academic Christianity. You know, you're missing the point of Christianity now.
Right.
Um, but here it's the, if you're a white person and you've surpassed it, is that sure you can talk about the unfortunate history that maybe like like Europe has had, especially like Britain, where they did a lot of these conquerings, and then like building their empires and stuff. You can talk about maybe that has like some kind of background for that, and there's that association. But still, the idea of like this person has joined your community. Where's that threshold that you're not actually going on to learn this much? Like so many Muslims will go on to say the proof of the genuine text is that millions of people have this memorized, which means they should all have a pretty high knowledge of this because they're that invested in it. But you keep finding that they don't have it memorized.
I was gonna say either they don't have it memorized or they have it memorized in the Arabic, but they have no idea what it means.
Right. It's like that was a thing
I could memorize. I know your dogs are freaking out. I could memorize, like, let's take scripture for example. I can memorize as much scripture as I want to. If I don't understand it, if I don't read it in context, if I don't figure out what the text is trying to communicate, what good does that do me? Right, kind of the thing that Paul's getting at, right, with 1 Corinthians 13. If I speak with the voice of angels, understand all mysteries, but I don't have love, I'm nothing but the clanging of a cymbal. Right? It's the idea that, you can memorize whatever you like. You can know whatever you like. Head knowledge is great. Heart knowledge is ultimately what matters. Right? And so I think, Josh, the Muslims do have it memorized. I don't doubt that. Which, firstly, anybody can memorize anything. That doesn't make it true. But secondly, more importantly, they don't know what they're saying. They're repeating it back. They're echoing. They have no idea what it means.
Well, I was gonna say that I'm not convinced they do have it memorized because the amount of ones I've run into online, even where they don't even know the surahs or hadith I'm referring to, and I Avery's debate against Jake Bracatella, he straight up asked him like about a surah, and he's like, "Oh, I got to pull up." So, wait, you don't have it memorized? No, I don't. He's like, "Okay, well, there's another one." I actually have not met a Muslim online.
That's really bad. Sorry, that's really bad that the Dawah guy did not.
I have not met a Muslim in person or online, or have actually heard of one in debates that legitimately has their Quran memorized in Arabic or in English. So there might be some that, like maybe in a Muslim country where they haven't memorized. At least on the West over here, I have yet to meet one who actually does. But even if they did, like you were saying, if it's just in Arabic, they don't know what it means. Especially if they're an English speaker or not Arabic native. And so there's this that threshold, like you were going with the heart knowledge, but their cap for him is that he got to a certain level of head knowledge, that now they're insecure about what they don't know. And it's like, why don't you know this? I mean, sure, not everyone's called to do the same thing. Not everyone's going to be having the passion for the same thing. But why are you feeling inferior about this? In fact, I actually try to find people who know more than me, because then I can learn something from them, because then I can grow in knowing something more. But for them, it seems like, at least where he's at, is that if you hit that threshold, now you're an outsider. We can't trust you. We don't want you. Even if you are writing these Dawah scripts, there's just, and sure, you can say this about many cultures and many different sects, but the sheer amount of distrust within that community, and this is a community that was all localized, the sheer amount of distrust in that, that's not functioning properly. That's not a religion that you should be following that doesn't permit about a functioning community. it's kind of like we were talking about with Ramadan. If you're following a holiday that by doing it right, you're actually getting far worse in health, you probably shouldn't be celebrating that holiday or Holocaust month or whatever. Like it should not lead you that direction. It should be celebratory, and if you follow the, especially if it's a religious one and there are like certain regulations or rules for it, then those things should fall in line with the actual religion to bring about prosperity, not depravity. And in Islam, at almost every turn, it seems to just keep bringing about more and more depravity than like flourishment and prosperity for a human being. I don't mean prosperity, the prosperity gospel, like genuine human flourishing, like betterment and virtue and all these things. It just doesn't seem to produce that, at least not consistently, by its, not even by its execution by Muslims, but by its actual teachings within the Quran and the Hadith. But anyways, keep rolling with this.
They put you on a pedestal. It's actually what I referenced in my poem, expecting better than Sahaba out of them. So basically, they expect white people to actually be better than the Prophet's companions.
Pause. That's interesting to me because we just had the whole, if you're white and you get a certain knowledge, they feel inferior and they don't want to be near you. But also,
That's exactly where
they
I
put
was
you on a
going.
pedestal. It's like they expect it from you, but because you did there, now they're insecure about it.
Right, exactly, right. So it's the expectation versus reality sort of thing, right? That comparison, that the comparison between what they want from you and actually getting it, right? So you mentioned Sahaba, right? The practice of, you know, closeness to the Prophet. Sahaba is part of that, and so, as he said, you know, they're expecting this like nigh perfection of Islamic learning and knowledge, and yet they, as Josh just said, you know, they get offended, they get upset when you actually reach it, right? And that is fascinating. You know, it's a little bit H.L. Mencken of them, you know. They're getting good and hard what they wanted. Right? They're getting good and hard what they asked for. And they
I did
don't
not
actually
like how
it.
you phrased it the first time.
They're getting all sooted. They're getting all sooted by what they wanted.
But yeah, like, it's like, why do you have that expectation, that pedestal that they must amount to? But then also, if you do, now you're ostracized from it. Like, if you're expecting this of them, then why do you have a double standard here?
Because it's not actually about welcoming the person into the faith. And it never has been. It has always been about isolation. It has always been about, it's been about race. Right? And again, I do not think we should be surprised to learn that.
Yeah.
Like, they have higher expectations for a white convert than they do for the Prophet's companions. And so when you try to rise to meet that expectation, there's also a stereotype that white people are loose and immoral. At the same time, they have this inferior complex about white people having colonized their home country. So it's like a contradictory belief about white people.
It makes sense because they have that they feel inferior, and so they want the people they see as superior to join the religion. But when they join the religion, they still feel inferior to them, and so that there is that hate that generates. But they still want them in there.
It's like psychologically it makes sense, and so like I went from writing Dawah training materials to now I'm also I live in a Muslim neighborhood.
Maybe it's time to move. That's what I'm saying.
No, because here's the thing. All of my Muslim neighbors are immigrants and refugees, and you know, the ICE situation. So I would think that they would be aware of the fact that if they did anything to me, the entire neighborhood would get deported. So I'm pretty sure that they.
Okay. Firstly,
sheer balls.
Wow.
In
Secondly, I mean,
statement.
that is risky, my guy, because there is There are a few places that could be. Now there are multiple, but they are few and far between.
Like, I'm not laughing at like, I know it's like, I'm laughing just at the sheer amount of like balls this guy has,
Oh yeah.
the sheer confidence, but also like it's not the wisest because here's the thing. He just said like even if they can do anything to me, they'll get deported. Here's the thing.
They don't care.
They don't care. If they kill you, then you're dead. So it's not like you really, and especially if you're not a Christian, which he said he's nominally. So it's not like it doesn't sound like he's like really there. It sounds like he's exploring it.
We're getting to Pascal's wager territory, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of like if you're not in Christ, then like if you die, then you still lost.
Yeah.
It's not like you just lost your life here. You lost your life with him. And so like I mean, if you were a Christian, I would still say it's not wise. But also like I can at least be like, okay, I have some confidence in what's going to happen for you. Still wouldn't encourage it, but I can understand that. But man, like dude's got some confidence, but also like it's still not the best decision to go with this.
Yeah. He gives off all soot energy. But yeah, no, I there is a little bit of confidence. I think there's also some foolishness.
Oh, for sure.
Because so you took it that aspect, and I'm really glad you did. I wish I had thought a little more along those lines, but I also thought along the lines of, again, my guy, there are not many places. Right? You mentioned ICE, so that puts you in the United States, right? Just hands down, no matter where you are. Now it is a country of 300 and probably like they say 330, but I don't think that actually accounts for the whole population. So we'll say 350. 350 million people. That's pretty good. But you got more specific with it, right? Which is you live in a Muslim neighborhood inside of America. That narrows it down real quick. Now, again, there are still a few places where he could be, but that's a risky maneuver, and I wish he were more careful than that.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering he's also, so he's saying that he's within. I shouldn't say anymore. So if I know no one's really watching this, but I don't want to narrow it down even more.
Oh, we got some things happening. Saying no one's watching this. We got stuff happening.
Oh no, I mean like no one like the Dawah bros aren't like watching this.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean like no one who's like of concern.
Right.
But still.
At least you hope not, right?
Yeah, you hope not.
But yeah, that's probably not the best thing to say.
Are you safe though? Like we want to make sure you're safe because we know the apostate rule.
I mean, I know that rule too. I used to teach people about it.
I am not watching this, or I am of no concern. It's definitely one of the two. Well, I think you're probably not watching this. Given that you're leaving a comment, I'm guessing that you're not watching this. Oh, that was funny. That was good.
You know, so here's the thing. I used to be scared all the time when I was Muslim, like all the time, like constantly scared of stepping on someone's toes, constantly scared of did I do the prayer wrong? Did I fidget too much while I was, you know, at gym or something? You know, did I look around too much when I was walking and accidentally see a woman? Like, constantly scared of every little thing. And now I'm just like, bring it, bitch. I'm too mad to care.
I feel that.
That's like I have a lot of pent up like. Because like when you're a Muslim, you can't talk about your feelings. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to talk to anybody about your feelings. You're not allowed to talk to anybody about what you're struggling with. You're not really allowed to seek advice on your own behalf. But you're also not allowed to ask somebody else to ask for advice for you. You do everything with like super levels of anonymity to cover up your sins. Right? So like if you say you're struggling, so say you're struggling with like I'm not sure I'm saying this word right in the prayer. And
I was having a nice sense of crisis there for a minute. Or for a minute there. That's I can understand that, Altus Rabbi. That was probably very scary for you. But I did want to talk about something that he said there, right? Which is that constant nervousness, right? That constant anxiety. I'm not that surprised. Right? So the beauty is in Christianity we have this, as we call it, blessed assurance, right? Jesus is mine. You do have that assurance in Christianity, right? Because salvation is not dependent on your works, because it's not dependent on, right, you keeping a checklist and following the law, or you keeping halal, or whatever it is, right? Because it is not dependent on you. That also means you don't just lose your salvation because you sin, right? That doesn't mean because you don't check X amount of items on the list that you lose everything, right? And you lose out on heaven. Islam doesn't have that, right? No other religion really has that. But we're talking specifically about Islam here. Islam doesn't have that. There is no assurance. I will say, my friend, so, whoa, I love my laws. You leave my checklist for salvation alone. You're never going to adhere to that checklist perfectly, though, my friend. You will fall short in some way. And ultimately, you are keeping in faith that God will extend enough grace for when you do fall short.
Of which, assuming that you're just a modern day Jew and not a like Messianic Jew or anything, but like even so you won't accept these texts maybe, but like let's consider Paul, for instance, who was a Pharisee, so he knows the teachings very, very well.
Hang on.
So
it's not my fault. I have scales over my eyes.
Paul, again, you probably won't accept it, but at least just hear me out. Points out that those who were of faith lived by the law, and those who were not of faith did not live by it, or thought that they could merit things on their own with how much they could do. So,
well, hang on. So I don't accept the NT as scripture, but I don't have any issues with it. Okay, so if we are going, I'm going to assume by possessing rabbi in the name, you are in fact a Jew. The New Testament then invalidates the criterion, right? It invalidates that checklist. Yeah, I'm a Hasidic Orthodox Jew. Okay, fair enough. So then, by that framework, the law that you are living by doesn't save you. Right? The framework of the NT. Right? Not only that, but by at least the... oh, no, it most certainly is. It most certainly is. The NT is very Jewish, right? The New Testament is very Jewish, but I think it's read from a very Greek perspective rather than a Hebraic viewpoint. So we actually kind of dive into that on this channel. I would recommend checking out some of the stuff that we've done. Josh is very big on that. We recently did a series comparing Matthew and Exodus to kind of show, the Aramaicisms and the Jewish, connections there. So the assumptions are all Greek. Yes and no. There are certainly some Greek aspects that play into the New Testament, right? I mean, John's opening prologue is hugely Greek, but he does.
So first, the Greek thing, it plays into Greek because you have Jewish audience, you have Jewish authors. So 99% of your New Testament authors are Jewish, who are writing to Jewish people, but also know they have Gentile and Greek speaking people. So they're also communicating Jewish ideas in Greek ways, so that way they can understand it since they're culturally apart from it. But then you have someone like in Peter with his epistle, where he knows that his audiences are Gentiles, but they're infatuated with the Jewish texts. So he writes them in very Jewish ways. Yes, I dive into this kind of stuff because I'm deeply in love with. When I was younger, I wasn't. I'm so in love with the Torah, especially, and how it sets up all these very different narratives and frameworks of thought, but also it pulls so much from the ancient Near Eastern, either pulls from or is engaged in dialogue with, either in polemics or in just discourse or shutting things down or building things up. So, for instance, I did an entire presentation on the Hebrew Bible's Godhead, beginning with the framework of ancient Near Eastern Jewish monotheism, which isn't counter our monotheism, but it's still a different frame of mind because we have different terms for how we refer to deities. We refer to God, God with a very specific set of frameworks, and then the ancient Jewish mind, modern Jewish mind has more of the modern mind, but the ancient Jewish mind also has different, still fits in, but it's different levels of framework and paradigms. But I make sure that when I dive into things, especially looking into feasts and stuff, I'm looking at Jewish texts. I'm considering Second Temple Judaism, First Temple Judaism, Torah, different texts different dictionaries or works that specifically focus on Jewish practices, like the JPS publications has a lot of really cool things that just kind of goes into the history of Jewish people, and it helps you understand more of like the letters. So like for a point you're making, as I've said on here before that I don't follow Calvinism because I think it has more Greek ideas than it does consistency with Jewish thought from Paul. But I also don't think my Calvinist brother and sister are heretics by any means necessary. I think they is philosophically sound. It's just I don't trust it.
Started a verse-by-verse commentary on Matthew from a Jewish perspective. Interesting. It was 30 pages long by the time we got to chapter 4. Amateur. Those are rookie numbers, kid. Haven't picked it back up in a year.
There's a book I want to read.
I'm teasing you. So, sorry, I just wanted a quick... I am doing a commentary on the Book of the 12. And I've gotten about halfway through Hosea. And I'm on like 75 pages. So, come on, man. You got to pick those numbers up. Let's go.
I was going to say, there's a book. I haven't read it yet. I want to, though. I need to find it. There's a scholar who explores the writings of John with Hebraic Jewish lenses. And so if I can remember it, I can for sure send it over.
Speaking of sending it over, I can send it over if you want it. I won't use it, just a side project for fun. I mean, I'd probably skim it. I don't know how much time necessarily we're going to have to
I'll make time.
Look at projects like that, but yeah, I'd be interested to read it. I mean, it's only 30 pages. So
I always make time to read. I'll always make time. I love reading. I'm reading through 4 books right now.
A couple hours, I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm reading through 4 books right now. So I'm ahead of my reading. So I'm willing to.
I don't want to hijack the stream. You're good, man. But happy to talk offline whenever if you guys have a Discord or something. We have talked about getting a Discord server set up.
I think we should.
I think we should. I think we need to grow the community a little bit. But a good way to reach us is always email as well.
Email us. If you're on Twitch, give us a follow, just so you know when we're streaming next, and then I can let you know if we have any updates on the Discord. We stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Lord willing.
That is not a true statement. Hosea is. I love Hosea, right? So Hosea is an incredible book, very underrated, very much slept on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Josh.
No, you're good.
It's not deeper than Matthew, my friend. We will have to agree to disagree on that one, because there is a lot happening in Matthew.
But anyways,
you can see if you watch our Matthew and Exodus comparison. Sorry, Josh, I didn't mean to.
If you follow us here on YouTube, and just notify yourself when we do live streams, and then just let us know you're in the chat, we'll let you know if we are moving forward with Discord, and we can hook it up where you can join it or something.
Yeah. But thank you very much for the comments and for being respectful, because we have not always had the most positive interaction with Orthodox Jews.
The last one was...
In fairness, we were doing polemics against Orthodox Jews. So.
But if I could recommend any project, I recommend if you reject the modern Jewish Godhead idea, I recommend checking out our video on that on YouTube. I think I mentioned it's just a Godhead on there. I would love to hear your perspective, because the guy that last left, his perspective did not address any of the points. And the one point he did address, he completely built a straw man. So I would actually love to hear some of your thoughts, especially from a modern Jewish perspective. Because I know ancient Jewish perspectives, based on the texts, they accepted it, but modern Judaism, post-first century, they reject it. So I'd be kind of curious to see what your thoughts are today.
Well, shoot, I'm always down to hear good arguments against this, LOL. Well, then I got good news for you. If you had been here the month previous, we actually did Jewish January. So, yeah, I'm always down for it. Yeah, so we actually did Jewish January. So for the entire month of January, we formulated arguments against Orthodox Rabbinic Judaism. I don't think we touched on Hasidic beliefs necessarily, specifically, but still, if you want to check those out, feel free. We'd be happy to hear your thoughts on them. And again, it's nice to have somebody who is a little bit more kind and courteous, because we did not have as positive of an experience. Just hit me up whenever, DM me, you have whispers blocked. Josh, that is a thing on Twitch.
I don't know. I didn't learn about that.
I would, yeah, we can figure that out. Annie Hoozle.
Yeah. I do have a WhatsApp.
Shoot you my number, Juice notoriously use WhatsApp.
Too soon.
No, not too soon. Beautifully timed. Wonderfully timed.
Caleb, I would like to point out, while I'm thinking about it, you're the actually ethnically Jewish of the two of us, and I'm more invested in Jewish thought than you are.
That is correct. As I stated, religiously, I am Jewish as a ham sandwich. I literally just ate a bacon cheeseburger on stream. I am not religiously Jewish at all. I just happen to hail from Israel.
All right, I'm going to get this rolling again. Screen share.
Oh man,
you broke Caleb. You broke him.
I know, really.
Wrong, but I'm not sure if I'm saying it right or wrong because I can't hear myself because I'm by myself in my house. Like, you have nobody to ask.
Sorry, I remember something I wanted to say.
Bacon cheeseburger, that's breaking like at least one law, maybe more. Oh no, it's breaking a few Torah laws, but we actually did a video specifically titled "Can I Eat a Bacon Cheeseburger?" So go check that out on our YouTube channel if you want to hear the argument there.
Something I think is really important that he notes is built into their community, which is, since we have a Jewish person watching right now, is foreign to Jewish and Christian thought. Is complete and total isolation. You can't share your feelings. You can't ask for help. You can't express confusion. You have to do it completely anonymously. There is no true community in there. You don't build each other up. You can't express your, like, you actually have to hold everything inside, which psychologically builds up more and more and can lead to severe depression, can lead to huge amounts of anger and rage. It can lead to a whole,
expressing here.
Yeah, a whole lot of mental health issues can come from that kind of isolation and that kind of withholding. And the fact that you're completely caught, you can't even be involved in getting someone to help you understand. You can't ask them.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it wrong and you don't know, they'll just kill you for it. They could. You just have to hope that you figure it out and you're pronouncing it correctly. And I think that's such an important thing to note, is that Islam is so isolated. Now, sure, maybe someone's come in and say, well, no, we're not. But here's the thing: this is a guy who is a Dawah script guy, which means he's within this community and he was completely isolated. And sure, you can
For
say
something
well,
out of
'cause
his control, right? For
Right.
something completely out of his control.
but it's kind of like
I think
the sheer amount of oh, what's the word? Is it's what the Chinese were blamed for with, was it Chinese or Russia? They both were actually. Two major events happened in their history, and censorship. Thank you. I don't know why I blanked on censorship. The sheer amount of censorship within Islam. You know, you censor the woman by like Ali Dawah when he had his wife on, completely covered, had her on a whiteboard, didn't give her the dignity to even speak. Here, he can't have the dignity to ask for help or to express his anxiety or his fears. He can't do any of that. She couldn't do any of that. It is, if you're trying to promote a religion as the better worldview that is better for society, and you have holidays that are, by following the rules, you are destroying your bodies, that by not understanding the rules, that you can be killed for asking for help, you be killed for, and just, or for apostasy, or like all these lists, just keep going on and on. This isn't a religion that is worth following in the slightest, if that is by nature what it leads to. Not even just like, here's what a few Muslims do, by nature built into the hadith and into the tafsirs and into the Quran.
Right, and I think a lot of that stems from, well, hang on, firstly, yes, because they're not shellfish. But Islam is a very isolating culture, which is ironic since they are such a large culture. Yes and no, right? So obviously, second largest religion in the world, it's a very large culture. But as we've mentioned, within that, there are different Islamic cultures, right? There are the Sunnis and Shias, and depends if you count Quraysh Muslims or not. I know many don't, so okay, sure, but like you get those two major divided camps. But let's examine what Islam's structure is. Islam is structured around specifically the male followers getting the most pleasure for themselves as possible, right? So you see this in both how Muhammad lived his life. I mean, his life was entirely basically dedicated to hedonism. Right? Nothing was denied to him. Anything he wanted, his God gave him permission for. God. Then he sets up these rules where the men are allowed to marry women that whomever they want, right? They, as long as their husbands have been killed in the war, they can take the captive women and they can marry them. And if not, just rape them. Right? Just rape them and be done with it, right? They are counted among the booty. Not the booty like Al Zut. We're not letting that go.
How many Zut jokes can Caleb slip in?
Just
Not
like
as many
Al
as
Zut.
Zut.
There you go. See? It's all about pleasure, and pleasure is one of the most isolating things when it is self-seeking, right? When it is hedonic. And Islam just stresses pure hedonic pleasure, right? Again, for men specifically, right? So then it's even more isolating for the women who have to sit by as the men go and pursue whatever they want.
Yeah.
Right?
So just a recent Muhammad hijab, not recent I guess anymore, but relatively recent scandal.
Right, where he has the munta wife, where he goes into the hotel and sleeps with her, and that's all she's used for in his life.
And the way he got her to do it is by promising her a family, and then the second he slept with her, he completely abandoned it.
Exactly. The second he marries her, he says, "By the way, I lied to you, and that's not happening."
Yeah.
Right, now she is in effect trapped. So, yeah, it is, to kind of return to this comment and the overall point that we're making, right? It is a little bit ironic in that, it is such a large culture. You would think they would build a very nice large community, but the problem is the root of their ideology is so pleasure driven. It's all about what can I get out of it? What is my satisfaction? I look at the Islamic paradise for jihadis. Right, you spend eternity raping young girls. There is no more sickening pleasure.
I don't know, man. I think Family Guy got that interpretation right.
That is a great clip. No, but I mean the Quran and Hadith are clear. It is prepubescent, adolescent females. I know, we all shudder. We all throw up a little bit. But they are having sex with them for eternity, right? And given that they are prepubescent, given that they are adolescent, they can't consent. So they are just raping young girls for eternity. That is Islamic paradise. Islam is solely about finding pleasure as a man, right? Whereas Christianity says, deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow Christ. Right? Life is not about pleasure. Life is about serving God, truly serving God, not some warped version where you get to do whatever you want. I guess I'll stall while Josh is talking. Right, and in doing so, and denying the flesh, firstly, you do live a more fulfilled life. But thank you for helping me stall. Earthly pleasure is limited and decays, whereas spiritual pleasure is unlimited and rejuvenating. Exactly right. Exactly. That's exactly where I was going. In that you will never have enough. And I'm actually writing a sermon about this right now. Is whatever you are pursuing, you will never have enough. You will never have enough money. You will never have enough drugs. You will never have enough sex. There will always be more that you want. The only thing that can fill this deep and abiding craving is an infinite God. A God whom cannot be contained to any finite reality in any sense that we conceive of it. I mean, yes, right? Yes, in a way, I would agree. I mean, you will become spirit one way or the other. It awaits us all. Unfortunately, death comes for all of us. There are 3 things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and all soot. But no, there are 2 things guaranteed in life, right? Death and taxes. And I indicate the proper term here. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, he's saying spirit as in Hashem. Well, Josh, that's more your realm, my guy. But
I was gonna say something else. I was gonna comment something else you were talking about with the large community. First off, you have to consider that they have a huge birth rate due to, one, the amount of women that these guys sleep with and all these things. But then also, like, how many people are like this guy who are in a Islamic community but are actually just too afraid to leave it? So how many of them are actually Muslims, or are they just saying they're Muslim to stay alive? That is I do think it's probably the second. I do still think it's the second largest religion in the world. I don't know if it's as big as people say it is, because, one, the apostate rate's been increasing, and 2, the amount of experiences you're hearing from people where they're talking about how afraid they've always been. Well, how many more of those who are just too afraid to even do anything still, because they are so trapped, like this woman, that they can't get out at all? It brings that question, if you have that many people who are in Islam who are hiding themselves for their own life, to preserve their own life, then yeah, it's going to seem like they have a huge community. But then yet on the thing that Caleb was saying, like, how, but like, put it all together, how many people were actually Muslim? Or how many of them would actually stay Muslim if they learn what the Quran actually teaches? Don't know if many of them actually would. And the ones who would are the ones who are so self-gratifying, they'll just stick with it because it brings them physical pleasure of some sort. But Caleb's gone now, and he didn't leave me a chat saying why. So let's see here. Spirit, as in Hashem, the Almighty. Oh, the Father. That's a common term.
I mean, he's referred to as the Father also in, Jewish contexts. So
yeah,
and pretty explicitly throughout the Torah, right? Which is one of the main things that contradicts the Quran. So when we bring up the Islamic dilemma regarding the Torah, you can be like, hey, the Torah calls God Father. So yeah. I think we have time for one more diatribe.
I want to probably get through the rest of this, and I want to skip to the end because there's something. He has an interesting thing to say at the end.
Yeah, so like you just sit there and you just stew in your anxiety.
I'm honestly like, I want to take this conversation we're having and I want to make it an independent video as a warning to people that are thinking of converting to Islam, because this is all
absolutely. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, like record it and upload it again if you want. No, like you're constantly stewing in anxiety. Like after the first 3 months of euphoria of I can't believe I just did this really ballsy thing and I'm so proud of myself. After the first 3 months, you're just stewing in anxiety all the
time. No, I am not.
Have you talked to other converts to Islam who have had similar feelings like this?
No, but I would like to. Like, I've tried to send messages to a couple of the is it Abdullah and Hoda?
I could link you to some ex-Muslims if you want. We want you to get community and make sure you're. First of all, you need community, safety as well. It sounds like you're safe, which is good.
So, like, basically, one of the things they said to me when they were trying to tell me not to leave, one of my companions, he said, you can't leave because everyone looks up to you. You're a Taliban, and you're a student of knowledge. And if you leave, you're gonna like people are gonna go with you. Like, yeah, like none of you want to.
So real quick, just the statement "you're a Taliban" is deeply concerning with no context. Like, I had that initial gut reaction of a what now, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, all right, right. I kind of forgot about that, but I'm going to censor the comment rather than putting it up there, but LMBO, no Muslim on this planet gives a flying crap if someone leaves the religion. It is not 700 CE. Leaving the religion is a threat to the... Where leaving the religion is a threat to the entire society. Right, but what happens when all of them leave? Apostasy rates are skyrocketing. Right? I mean, by your own sheikhs and imams. Right. The avalanche of apostasy is not a term that Christians or Jews or anyone else came up with. That is your sheikhs and imams that came up with it. You all, your Dawah guys, your sheikhs, your imams are all acknowledging very high apostasy rates. So take that attitude if you want. It's just going to make it easier for us to successfully point out the flaws in Islam and successfully free people from its clutches. But at the same time, look into it for yourself. Right? Don't just dismiss it out of hand. Who cares if they leave? Right? It's not a threat to the religion. Okay. But have you looked into why they're leaving? You say you don't care. Maybe you don't. But do you know why they're leaving? Might be worth looking into. If this is in reference to the guy that is in the video, his name was intentionally hidden because he is not safe to reveal his identity at the moment. He goes by Khalid. Maybe that's his real name. Maybe it's not. I don't really know. I thought he corrected Mike Jones and said not Khalid. It was Khalid.
I'm pretty sure it's the other way around.
Regardless, we don't know his identity. He has chosen not to reveal it at this time for safety. Excuse me. He looks very familiar. Brother, what do you mean? Oh, wait. Wait, are you talking... Which person are you talking about? Are you talking about the guy in the top left, top right, or in the bottom? And not bottom like also. Oh, yeah, top left. Yeah, that's Mike Jones of Inspiring Philosophy. Yes, he's a Christian. Yeah, that is Mike Jones of Inspiring Philosophy. He is a Christian apologist who runs a pretty well-known apologetics channel. Okay, so yeah, we got some familiarity. But yeah, Muslim dude who hopped in the chat. Firstly, we appreciate your comment. But secondly, look into why people are leaving. Right, it does matter to a degree, right, due to the high rates of apostasy. But even if you don't care, ew. We talked with him and the other Mike, Metaphysics Mike. Ew. We went through a little phase of debunking Metaphysics Mike, and there was not much honest argumentation there.
No, he was very inconsistent.
We've done some live streams together, and again, cool, nice. But yeah, so seriously though, look into it. See why, even if one person left, why? If nothing else, then to strengthen your own faith, right? So what's the harm in it? All right, last thing here. Can I take a job?
Skipping to the end, some interesting things I thought was just really interesting. So who's going to share?
No, I feel it.
How can we help you today? Is there anything you want to talk about specifically?
I mean, I mainly wanted to talk about the poems, to be honest, but like, but I do have the 27 pages of Dawah manuscript, and I am willing to like hand over the original Dawah manuscript that all these guys are using.
You mean like the popular YouTubers?
Yeah, like this is based off of a collation of all of the popular YouTube arguments for Islam.
Yeah.
This isn't their personal scripts. This is a script based off of all of their arguments. It has all of the Bible references used by the developers. All of them. A list.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have found the Dawah script.
I think that's really interesting.
Oh, come on.
Who knows how that's
We're
going to work?
get the Dawah files. Dude, we're going to get the Dawah files.
From one of the guys who wrote the stuff.
From one of the guys who wrote it. I have no idea who that is. But man, we're going to get the Dawah script. Do you know how long we have wanted an actual, like, Dawah script? Oh, cool. Good friends of mine, they are Orthodox Messianic. Cool. You know, check that out. But man, I would love to see what exactly they're getting handed. Right? I mean, obviously, once Mike Jones, I assume it'll be Mike Jones who gets a hold of it. He's gonna put it out, right? He's gonna put it out for everyone to see. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I'm very curious how this is going to work out. But it's just interesting that one of the guys who has it appears on a stream and it's like, hey, I got it. And I'm bringing it with me if you guys want it. And it's 27 pages. So it's not like it's just nothing. It's 27 pages of information.
Like a 3-page Google Doc that he just passes on. This is what your talking points are. This is actual, like, curriculum, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I can't wait for that now. Yeah, so that is Inspiring Philosophy's discussion on Inspiring Philosophy's discussion on the racism found in Islam. Which, not that surprising, honestly. Disheartening, but I'm not surprised, I'm just disappointed. Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much all that we really had. If we've got any last minute comments, we will take those. Otherwise, we will do a classic Caleb Elliott degreeting. Give it a second for any late comments to roll in, and if there's nothing, I'm dying. I still have not gotten over this cough. We're going on over a week now. Or actually, a week today. A week today is when I started getting sick. So. Alrighty, well. With all that said, I guess that's where we will call it. So we'd like to thank you all very much for watching. We really do hope that you appreciated this. And if you want to see us react to more racism, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know down in the comments below. We hope you all have enjoyed this stream, and Lord willing, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.